Game of the week? Of the week? Is this the game of the week? I don't know. I think.
There's a lot of good games this week.
So not the game of the week?
Not in my eyes, no.
What is the game of the week in your eyes?
I honestly I'm more intrigued for Illinois FAU and honestly probably Texas Marquette.
You're right. There's a lot of good games this week. Okay. This is my game of the week of the day. How about that? Connecticut against North Carolina, aka UConn against North Carolina. Do UConn fans want us to call them UConn or Connecticut?
I don't know. They're very particular about how you spell UConn, but I don't think they mind what we call them either way.
Do you normally run around spelling UConn wrong?
I don't. It was something about like capitalizing the something. I don't know. I'd have to look back in tweets 2 years ago, but it wasn't friendly.
All right. Well, one of the strange things about this last week where you've been sick and not able to record some of these videos is that I just haven't talked to you a ton about a lot of the games that have happened in this sport. UConn against Kansas was one of my favorite games to watch of the season thus far. I feel like we learned a lot about both teams. North Carolina had a just fantastic week last week. They smoked Tennessee at home. And then the big comeback victory over Florida State, which actually included Jacob Karabatsos texting me 10 minutes after North Carolina was down double digits to Florida State saying, LOL, is Carolina really going to win a national championship this year? Like, we're just that good. We can flip a switch. And I was like, dog, you were just down 10 to Florida State 5 seconds ago. Anyways, neutral site game here. One that I think both teams would love for the resume, one that I don't think either team needs to do anything different than they will do later in the season. So what do you make of this? Who do you think is the better team on paper coming into this game?
To me, the better team on paper in my eyes is UConn. I think that a lot of people maybe went a little bit too far to the negative side with UConn after losing to Kansas. Like, look, they lost on the road at Fog Allen in the house that Bill Self built to a really good Kansas or to a good Kansas team in my eyes, but like in Fog Allen, a good team. And you know, they had injuries to Cam Spencer, they had injuries obviously to Clingan, who was not 100%. So without their lottery pick and Stephon Castle, I still think they're a really good basketball team. Tristan Newton was special in that game. And you know, in my opinion, UConn is the better team. And I think that UConn wins this basketball game as I kind of go through it and do like the matchups and things like that. I mean, you saw in that Kansas game where Hunter Dickinson was able to do some things with Clingan as far as like making him come out and guard him, shooting threes. I believe Hunter Dickinson hit 3 threes in that game and was just kind of, I think, pretty special in that game. I don't think that Armando Bacot's the same type of player as Hunter Dickinson. I think that Clingan can match him physically with his length and his size. And also UConn will get Stephon Castle back on a minutes restriction, which I think is massive for them. And I just think they're a really good team. I think it's a really good bounce back spot for UConn too, coming off the Kansas loss.
I like it as a bounce back spot for sure. I also like it as like a, hey, North Carolina, are you like too high on yourself spot? So yeah, spoiler alert, I'm going to pick UConn to win this game, and I think UConn is the better team. With that said, I want to push back on a couple things. You sent me a text during UConn Kansas. We had not talked about UConn and Kansas. The text read this: is Donovan Clingan bad? That was the only text you sent me during UConn Kansas, and now you seem to have come around on that.
Because I sent that out to multiple people, and they told me that, and they still convinced me that he's good. I do want to see it though. I do.
He was just hurt, right? That's all it was.
Yeah.
Is this the thing? Because I've said this with other players. Is this the thing where like when they play bad, they're hurt, and when they play good, they're healthy?
That's the question I'm asking. Like if you're hurt, you're hurt. If you're not, you're not. But
because Elijah Martin was hurt, and then all of a sudden he was really good, and he wasn't hurt anymore. And I get it's chicken or egg. It kind of happens, Skip. But like Donovan Clingan played the whole game against Hunter. He looked pretty good in the second half against Hunter. Just not the first half. Was he healthy in the second half and hurt in the first half?
Yeah.
Or was he hurt the whole time and looked good for a half even while hurt? Because I give him a bunch of credit if that's going on.
I think he's still getting back from that foot injury that he had leading up into the season. That's what I truly think it is. But to me, I think UConn's still for real and they're a serious team. I can't say that about UNC still in my eyes. Like, yes, that was impressive against Tennessee. Granted, home, play extremely well, shoot the ball extremely well, everything's going great. Still gave up 40 to Dalton Knecht, still let Tennessee come back. That was still part of the game. But all in all, impressive win. Outside of that, not the best showing in Atlantis. To me, still not the best showing against Florida State at home. Like, I don't know. I was one coming into the season where I was like, Tar Heels are for real. Play Cadeau, he's him. They might win the ACC. I'm still not getting there with this team yet.
You can't say they're a serious team, though?
I can say they're when I say serious, I'm talking like title contender team.
Okay.
I think UConn is a title contender team. I don't think UConn is.
How many title contenders are there in the country to you, though? Like, is your own team a serious team right now, Michigan State?
No, I think right now there are 5 to 6 title contenders.
Okay. So what you're really just saying is like North Carolina is anywhere from 15 to 7th best in the country.
Yes.
UConn's slightly ahead of that. Okay.
North Carolina is a top 20 team in the country.
Okay. I'm fine with that. With that said, Armando Bacot, like, if Clingan is hurt, or if the first half Clingan against Dickinson shows up against Armando Bacot in this game, isn't Armando Bacot just going to like eat him alive?
No. Armando's not built like that. Armando eats against the Jonas Adus of the world. He doesn't eat against guys like this.
What does that mean? Why is that? Why are we disrespecting Jonas Adu? Critical part of one of the best defenses in the country.
That's the type of game that you get from Bacot. He's a Jonas Adu guy. Tucks his tail against Eric Dixon. Sorry.
We're saying that Jonas Adu is a worse defender than Eric Dixon?
I'm just saying, I think Armando Bacot is a 2-game play. You get 2 great games and get those stats up and get your 20 rebounds, and then he'll lay a stinker. This has the makings of an Armando Bacot stinker to me.
Okay. I guess I agree with that in principle, but like, I don't know what North Carolina did, really specifically Bacot and Davis did against Tennessee and Harrison Ingram was just like totally redefined the ceiling of North Carolina in my mind. Like, that was, I didn't think they could do that. I thought that Tennessee was the type of team they fold against normally.
Who's the best player in North Carolina?
I'm going to trust my guy, Riley Davis, who tells me it's Harrison Ingram.
I think it's Harrison Ingram too.
Yeah.
But they make the best player the 3rd or 4th option.
No, they don't. Not anymore, which actually I think is good for North Carolina. Like, I think they've realized Harrison Ingram is their best player, and that makes RJ and Armando way more dangerous.
Have RJ and Armando figured that out?
I don't think they're ever going to figure it out, which means it doesn't matter if they figure it out.
What if they figure it out?
Then we're in on North Carolina all the way in. Yeah. No, I really like how this team's playing. That's the truth. I think Cadeau's way better than I gave him credit for. And you weren't here for this. I think Cadeau is diet DeJuan Harris. That's my read on it. You're gonna hate that. I know you hate that, but
I hate that. I hate that so much.
They play the same offensively. They play exactly the same offensively. Exactly the same.
But I have the right not to accept that, right?
Yes, but just know deep down they play exactly the same. Deep down, I repent that. The point is, it makes everybody on the team better, though, which is good. Tristan Newton is a top blank guard in the country. I need you to fill in the blank for me. I have an
3.
answer. I think. Whoa. Okay, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in the top 3 then?
For me, probably Tristan Newton, Isaiah Stevens, and are we calling Terrence Shannon a guard?
No.
Okay. Well,
point guards.
Point guards? Oh, yeah. Point guards. To me, it's those 2. Like, I'm not putting Kolek in there this season for me.
Budarius.
So 3. Okay, 3.
Where's Budarius with Tristan Newton? Which one you taking?
I'm taking Tristan Newton.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Talk me through this. You love Tristan like that?
I love Tristan. I think Tristan's solid defensively. I think Tristan does great things on the boards. I think he does great things passing. He is You know how people love DeJuan Harris? Imagine if DeJuan Harris was aggressive offensively and had offensive game. Then you have Tristan Newton.
A lot of DeJuan Harris talk this episode. He's Elliot Cadeau, now he's Tristan Newton. I love Tristan Newton. I was going to come in spicy and say he's top 5 point guard in the country, and now here you are saying he's top 3. So maybe neither of those are even spicy. Maybe he's just the best point guard in the country.
Oh, he's easily top 5 point guard in the country.
I didn't know that. I thought everybody was still saying like Kolek and DeJuan were ahead of this guy, but
he's the best point guard in the Big East.
Yeah. I mean, a little disrespectful to your guy, Stephen Ashworth, but it's a little joke there, R. Creighton. Although Stephen Ashworth did have a breakout game. We just didn't talk about it. That was good, though.
But he's still so tiny.
Yeah, it's a little tiny. So I have a Tristan Newton theory. You remember those Villanova teams where, I mean, obviously you remember them. This was like 3 years ago, but like they were so loaded that like guys who you didn't think were superstars were just like role players on a couple of those teams, and then like came back a year later and you realize just how good that team actually was because the guy who was like the 6th option was now the 1st option and he's incredible. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm following you. Yeah.
That's what's going on here with Tristan Newton. Like, I'm trying to pick out like the exact perfect player to use for this comp. I feel like it might have been either like Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges, but those guys were both obviously just like very good at the time too. But I feel like there was somebody on one of those Villanova teams that like got way, way, way better after other guys left, after like Archie Diacono was out and they needed to play a bigger role.
It wasn't DiVincenzo, was it?
No, DiVincenzo was kind of just like always off the bench. I don't know who it is, but maybe there isn't even a guy. I just feel like you would look back on those Villanova rosters now and like we think more highly of Josh Hart now than I think we did in college, or same with Bridges, or same with DiVincenzo, like any of them. To pick any of those 6 guys, it's like, damn, they were all on the same team. That's to me happening with Tristan Newton in real time right now. Like, I don't think he got nearly enough credit for UConn's run last year. He had like triple-double level performances last year, and everybody just ignored those and was like, I mean, they didn't ignore them because everybody took UConn seriously, but like this was a 4 seed coming into the NCAA tournament that like didn't play their best in Big East play. And all it was when you got to the tournament was like, oh, it's Jordan Hawkins and it's Andre Jackson and it's Adama Sanogo and Clingan off the bench. Nobody was talking about Tristan Newton and Caravan, and those guys were awesome last year. So like now they're awesome in even bigger roles, which is great. And I just love watching Tristan Newton so much, man. He won me over in that Kansas game where nobody could get going, and he was just going to will them to being in the game down the stretch. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's easily top 3 point guard in the country. And he's, I mean, damn good. I mean, his stretch run from the tournament last year into this year is just like solidifying that last year's tournament run like wasn't a fluke. Like him turning up had a lot to do with UConn winning a title.
Yeah. You taking him over Boo hurts though, just for, just the heartstrings.
I think Newton is better defensively than Boo is.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and I think that
better offensively at things too, but like it's Boo.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Well, one of us has to actually, make the call to take someone over Boo, and I'll be that guy.
But like also, Boo in Mackey Arena. Are we like that version of Boo? Are we still taking Tristan Newton over?
It wasn't in Mackey for one, but yeah, Tristan Newton went into Tristan Newton went in the Fog Allen and gave them boys 40.
Can I pretend it was in Mackey?
You can, but you'd be lying to yourself.
In my head, that was in the Final Four in Mackey Arena against Purdue. So, all right. Well, so who wins the game? You have UConn?
Yeah, I think UConn in a bounce back spot too. I think I might have leaned UNC if it wasn't a bounce back spot for UConn. I think they're going to be motivated to get back on track and get this win. And I think it's a winnable game.
All right, I have a game script prediction. Sometimes I just call my shot on these, and I end up looking stupid or I end up looking great. I think North Carolina leads this game by 15 points at halftime or more. I think they come out the gates firing just like they did against Tennessee. Everybody's hitting shots. There's a whole aura of, oh, my God, how good is this team? Because UConn has started slow now in a big game, and North Carolina has started fast in big games. I think they're up 15.5. I think UConn does what champions do and comes back, claws it away, down 2 points with 20 seconds left in this game. Cormac Ryan is going to make a defensive error, just like a total lapse where he just leaves a dude wide open. It's probably Alex Caravan. Shot goes in, 3 for the win. UConn wins. There is a close-up of Cormac Ryan's face, and he has his arms out like this, and he's just like expressing like this to Hubert, and nobody knows what's going on. It's like, you messed up, dude. That's my prediction.
Does he sprain his ankle when he's doing that?
He already has 2 sprained ankles, so no. But that's my prediction. UConn.
I like that prediction, but I just want to throw in there that turn of events won't happen until Riley texts you something about UNC, and then it's gonna go completely the other way.
Riley's gonna hit us with a let me on the recap.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna hit him back 2 hours later. Okay, here's the link.
Yep, exactly.
All right, should be a really fun game. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to recap it with you on the Sleepers Media channel. Stay tuned for that after the game, everybody. Click subscribe while you're over there.